Hey,
Hey,
how's everybody
what's
doing?
going on?
Yo, 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 and yo.
Yo.
Come on, Legionnaire. What's going on? Happy hump day, boo.
Happy hump day to you all. How is it going?
It's going.
I'm super. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, it's going good. Listen, today's a good
Look,
day.
I'm super. Thanks for asking. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
I think I missed that one.
From
Is that South Park?
South
South
Park, yeah.
Park, Big Gay Al.
So no, but what I do know is
Bombs are flying.
no, but I do know
Kids are dying.
the one about um your mom. She's a
Well, Kaiser says she's a big fat bitch. She's the biggest bitch in the whole wide world. She's a big old
Monday,
bitch.
bitch on Tuesday, bitch Wednesday, and I was like,
She's a bitch to all the boys and girls.
yes.
On Mondays, the bitch. On Tuesdays, the bitch. On Wednesdays, Saturdays, she's a bitch.
She's a bitch,
Stinky bitch. Big old fat fucking bitch, cause mom.
That I do know. So, but happy Wednesday, children. I see we got a couple people that have already signed in. I see Kubaton.
Hey, girl.
Hey, I see Maximus. And there's Bougie Girl. There's
Yes,
Lola.
bougie girl. Oh, you know what? So, remember we was talking about I was going to get my nails done, right?
Right.
So I did, and
This
I
is
want to
good.
thank Bougie Girl because thanks to her, I knew exactly what to say when I went to go get my joints did with the SNS
They
with the
look so
dips.
natural though. They look so like you know, like not like I got my nails did, but like this is how my nail look.
I will tell you that it's probably the dip that does it. The dip. First of all, this is going to. All right, girl. So now I've been texting people, doing my sick and shut in prayer list. you know, and everybody's been quiet, and then right at 8 o'clock, everybody want to start being like, "Hey."
Lord. So you were saying that the dip was now
So the dip just first of all, what you saw when we were on the show last week
yeah.
was from July the 1st. So that had lasted for a month and a couple of days without any chips. It was only that it had grown out to the tip.
No. That's fine, and they didn't look bad. I wasn't saying
Yeah.
that, but what I'm saying is they look. So the last times you've gotten them done prior to this dip, they looked thicker and they looked fatter, and they kind of looked like it was a nail sitting on top of the nail.
Right, because the acrylic or the gel, is like
Was
a
real
layer.
thick, right.
This is just a layer of powder.
That's what I'm saying.
That is 3 layers of powder that are
Gotcha.
fused together,
Okay.
and they came out beautifully. So thank you, Bougie Girl, for the heads up on that.
They are indeed lovely.
Thank you. Hey, Nichelle. Hey, Bougie Girl. Hey, Lola. Yes, Lola, it is really on. It is on and about to be popping.
It's crack-a-lackin' tonight.
Yes. So we got a lot to talk to. So Legionnaire, you start. Tell us how your week was, baby.
My week so far has been pretty standard. Just
Yeah.
working, paying the bills, making the donuts, all that good shit.
Come on, donuts. Was
Yeah.
it frosted? Was it just jelly? Was
I
it,
could run down the street to Krispy Kreme real quick and get a
yeah, like
dozen
was it a
glazed.
hot glaze when it came out with the with the sauce?
Raspberry filled.
Yes, the only thing better than the hot glazed donuts is the hot glazed raspberry filled donut.
I'm just saying.
So
It's like biting into a pillow that squirts raspberry sauce in your mouth.
I'm gonna let y'all have that one. It's raspberry, which I feel like it might taste better cold.
No.
But
It's good cold,
It is. I mean, it's perfectly doable. I won't turn it down.
but I think it's better hot. But it's good cold. Either way.
And I like the lemon. Apple is one of my favorite flavors, but surprisingly, I do not like the cinnamon apple because all that cinnamon sugar shit just falls right off, and so now you get cinnamon all over your
cinnamon I
clothes.
can't. Yeah,
But-
it gets to
but
be.
then- But the cinnamon sugar one isn't that it's the apples are really, really small, especially when you get them from Krispy Kreme. Like they're really, really small and chunky. They're real like
Yeah, that's fine.
I
Yeah,
want
I
the
don't mind
big,
that.
yeah, I want the big.
Yeah, but if it's too big, they can't squirt it into the.
But I thought they put them on the outside as well.
No, that's just the crumble and
Yeah.
cinnamon sugar.
Okay.
I've never just been a fan of cinnamon sugar on most things because most things aren't designed to hold the cinnamon sugar. So it looks good until you pick it up and then all the cinnamon sugar slides off. So
Yeah. All right.
So how was your week, Epic?
My week has been awesome. So listen, let me be
Is there an announcement?
Yeah, I was like, let me be perfectly clear. You all know
ladies and gentlemen. Breaking news.
So you all know how I feel about my time at the Black Cock and Cock. You know, I go up in it, and I'm gonna thank Gray for that because we had this conversation. He was like, "It's the Black Cock." I'm like, so it became the Black Cock and Cock. And so I was irritated. I made some decisions. I applied for stuff. I got calls for stuff. And today, while I was in a meeting, I got the email that was an offer letter. And I was like, I had to turn my camera off in the meeting. I was like, boop, boop,
boop. Bam. There you go.
Sign that bad boy, sent that bad boy right back. And so, listen, that is where we are.
When does one start?
I am looking at a starting date of the 29th. Although I have not said anything to my job as of yet, I am scheduled to have a conversation.
Well, the 29th isn't until Monday, so technically you don't owe them anything until the 15th.
I'm not scheduled to have a conversation with him
until that's
tomorrow.
Actually... Yeah, you should probably do it by Friday, but whatever.
I'm scheduled to have a conversation with him tomorrow, and I'm going to give him this 2 weeks. But I was trying to go down this list of like pros and cons, and you know, by it being stayed and all that.
And what did I say?
And you know, again, you brought up some very valid points as well, because I've been having these conversations. Because I'm sitting there thinking, like, you know, I'm getting closer to retirement. I want to think about these different things, and you know, the longevity of just the state in general versus an institution. But my institution, it just feels like it is.
But it's not, a school. It's an institution that is the one that you're going to is an institution that's 150 years old.
It's a much larger and much. There are more. I don't want to say parameters, but there are more requirements coming in the door, and with those requirements, it trickles over into other things. So
my objections, my position on it can be stated as, "Girl, fuck them hoes."
Well, and then there's that part, because if they catch me on the right day. And if that's any next couple days, then I listen. I'll be like, you know what? I am sick.
Do you got sick time?
I do have sick time. I got sick time and I got vacation time. Them hoes gonna pay me for this vacation time, but this sick time, I'm great. I'm great. Listen, I already normally working 3 days each week. So when I turn this in, I'm working 3 days in the first week and 3 days in the second week. That's all I got for you because I'm taking off 2 days each of those weeks.
So you already told him you're going blackout and on this cruise, though, right?
That was already taken care of.
I'm talking about at the new job.
The new job, I haven't had that conversation with them yet because, again, now it's not like it's sitting in front of. I have to go there and be like, listen, because my supervisor and all that stuff is listening there. But that's the first thing. Excuse me.
You're supposed to say it, but my rule is that if I'm looking for a new job,
the HR person was not the person for me to have that conversation with. That conversation for me would be to have with my supervisor as well.
Oh, I have it with everybody.
Well, again, I haven't even spoken to the supervisor as of yet. It's just been
but everybody from the top of the food chain on down needs to know.
That is
I'm going to be gone for the first 2 weeks of October, but I don't need no foolishness.
That is the conversation that I will be having as I turn in the I-9s and everything else that I've done. Because that's it. That's all I'm like. We're not doing that.
So, I mean, it almost certainly isn't a problem, but just my recommendation to people is usually if you, because as an interviewer, having interviewed a lot of people, I would always be like, hey, do you have any vacation plans coming up? Not that I'm going to deny, because I've never denied anyone's vacation, but I just want to know. So,
well, take the plan accordingly,
right?
Absolutely. And so that is my first. That's my first order of business after I signed my direct deposit and all that type of stuff.
I know that's right.
Right. To
get your money together, honey.
So, but that's kind of what I'm looking at. But other than that, it's been good, and I'm looking forward to less than an hour commute, which wasn't bad. And I'm also looking forward to like half as much gas money a fucking week. This is some
you can also take the metro.
I can. Yeah. Do you realize that I've put 18,000 miles on that car since I've had it?
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
So I'm looking forward to like having Ruby to kind of mellow out. So Yes, got his letter. Thank you, Bougie Girl. Thank you for that support as well. Hey, Spectre, I see you're here. So yes, but all in all, it's been a good week, and I'm going to continue to have it to be a good week. It's been cool. It's been quiet at home. My roommate's off in Dallas somewhere doing whatever, and my other roommate's here, so we've been laughing and joking about stuff. But it's been good. So it's been real good. So it's been a good week. How's your week, man?
Weeky.
Weeky? Nothing new, nothing spectacular?
Well, there is something new, but I didn't want to steal your thunder. I will almost certainly be converting to an Amtrak employee, so it'll be like quasi-governmental.
Did we not expect that to happen?
Listen, until I receive a letter.
Which is where listen,
I do not.
Bougie, you know exactly, and I said this last week. Until I get the letter,
right? I don't be celebrating. I don't do anything other than whatnot. You know, some of the girls on my team is going to be quite pinched. And here's why.
Not really your response. Not really.
It is exactly my responsibility, because they will go from colleagues to subordinates. So half of the team that is like, hey, Brian, it's going to be, hey, Mr. Swilling. No, it'll still be Brian. But I will, our Kikis and all of the, oh girl, I'm about to dip out so I can run and go get some Chick-fil-A. And I'm like, where was you from 3 to 4? And here's my thing. It's not that I care that you were gone from 3 to 4 from Chick-fil-A, but your shit ain't together. That's always always been my concern professionally. Even before we had work from home, I'm like, girl, I don't care if you dip out for the day by 2, but everything that you need to have done either needs to be done before you leave at 2, or it better be done by the time we get here at 8 o'clock the next day. So that has always been my concern.
So wait, here's my question. It made me think about something. So I have stuff, because we're at a community college, and I have a program that's not supposed to start until September. The first one starts September the 8th.
I hope someone else was working on it.
And then the second one starts like September the 20 something or whatever, like 2 weeks after that. So my question is, I'm only going to be in the office 3 days. I'm only working 6 days out of this next 14 days. Let's start with that. How much work am I getting ready to do? Like, how much am I getting ready to do?
I would be here. I would give them Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday the first week, and then I would give them Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday the second week, because you're not going to work on that Friday.
Right.
Girl, I'm not doing that. Who does that?
It's simply not done.
I will make sure that when I leave out of that office on that Thursday, to put my keys and my laptop and everything else in my office, and like, okay, there you go. Okay.
You go, y'all shit. Bye.
Yeah. And I just got the damn letter from HR about going to pick up my state ID. Finally, after.
But have them be like, thank you.
But listen,
here you go. I quit.
I'm gonna go pick it up though, because it's mine. I'm gonna go pick that state. It's mine. I'm gonna go pick it up. That means I'll be out of the office for a minute. But anyway, that's what I'm gonna do.
Well, good for you. Congratulations. I'm very happy for you. You got an offer letter. I ain't got no offer letter.
Congratulations for the conversation. How about that?
It was, because it's a thing now. I'm going to New York next week and everything, because one of the people who was going to be reporting to me quit, not because of me, because most people don't even know. And I did make the mistake of saying to some people, one person who was never in my chain, she was like, good, but another person who reports to her was like, oh, so Brian's getting a promotion? Like, well, we ain't even in the same chain, honey. So,
like, you sound a little bit pressed, honey.
You need to talk to your boss and your boss's boss about how that works. So I don't know what to tell you. So, but anyway, so yes, so thank you. I do appreciate that. But the celebration. So, before I was looking at my leave, right? And like, well, I will be like, So you know I'm gonna be in Cancun, but then I was like, oh well, I guess by the time somewhere in the middle of blackout and the cruise, I was gonna run out of leave and just be. It's unpaid leave. It's not leave without pay because that's a problem. Just unpaid leave. So I would have like 30 hours that where I wouldn't be getting paid. But now I got more than enough leave because it has to, because of the fiscal year, it has to happen by October the 1st. They need to have all of this done and in place. So that means the trip to Cancun, and I may be able to take off a couple of more days between now and then, because once we establish a date, I'm using up every bit of the leave. Because for me, first of all, when they pay you for leave, it's not.
No, yeah, they tax you.
They tax you differently than regular. So
they tax you. They tax the shit out of you.
It's better to take the leave as days off, at least for me. So I will be taking off a few days.
More days. Give me that check because I'm gonna use that check for a few things. That's what I'm gonna do. Whether they tax me or not, I'm take this check and use it for a few things. But that's just me. So
all right. So let's see. Y'all just want to dive right into P Valley?
Sure. Down in the valley where the girls get naked. And bands, you know she gonna shake it.
1, 2,
3, break them. 3, 4, break them.
Listen, so my overall, it's my issue. You know, I still have remnants of a heterosexist patriarchy. We all do.
Yeah.
And so I think if this was the same show about male strippers, I wouldn't have the thing. But I'm looking at these women and like, these poor women are being exploited. And I know they aren't. Well, maybe they are. But I know that realistically, this is their choices within the confines of the society that they live in. But I've always, like, I felt that way about porn too. Like, I'll see a dude getting nutted all over his face. And I'll be like, that's hot. And I'll see a woman getting nutted all over her face. I'm like, that is someone's daughter. You know what I mean? So I still have this like heterosexist patriarchal thing when I see women like strippers like that. And so I have to kind of get over that every time I watch the show, because I'm like, part of me is screaming like, these women are being exploited. And to the extent that all sex workers are being exploited by someone, yeah, but they aren't being any more exploited than the male strippers that we would see. So once I get past that every episode, it's still an engaging story, although sometimes I got to turn on the closed captions because I was like, what? What? I know these hoes are speaking African American. Listen, I grew up in PG County. I mean, you can't get much blacker than PG County. But when these girls get to talk in that Mississippi dialect, I'm like, what? I don't understand what the fuck you just said.
Clear your mouth out. Get the ice cubes out your mouth.
It's them grills that they have. There's a fucking speech.
Well, I got people from down there, so I catch it all.
Yeah.
God bless you. God bless you. I'm like, so now I know who to come to for translating. I'll be like, Legionnaire, could you translate, please?
Right.
Could you translate, please?
So there were, I mean, I don't know that we're going to go over every episode, but I just have general impressions. Now, if y'all do, feel free.
Well, no, I don't necessarily have to go over every. So first of all, this was episode 9.
Episode 9.
And so next week is going to be the season finale.
Yeah.
And so, so spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't watched
Spoiler, yes.
You might want to tune out now. This season started off kind of slow.
It picked up right where Murder Night left off.
Yes. And it was
right into the pandemonium.
Yes. And so everybody is reeling after the pandemic. People are sitting at home. People are doing all different types of things at home and just outside of the pink. Well, the pink,
but the way that they did the pink for the pandemic was
it was amazing.
Baby, they came up with some stuff.
Yes, they did. Because Uncle Clifford had decided that they was going to do this drive-through pink situation,
which I thought was very innovative.
It was cute. It was cute. And then the guy came through, and he was like, and then when he pulled up, he was like, "Oh shit!" Because Uncle Clifford said up, and he was like, "Oh shit!" He was like, "No, baby, I'm just telling you, get your stuff ready."
Right.
Get yourself ready. You need extra towel or something or whatever.
Yeah.
He went on through. It was the visuals were amazing.
Yes. Very.
That it was absolutely amazing. And then throughout the season, I mean, please, everybody feeling wherever they can. But throughout the season, it was basically showing how people are trying to put their lives back together after the pandemic and dealing with the pandemic. Whether it was their personal lives, their professional lives, and definitely how all of them that were tied to the pink, how it affected all of them.
Right. You know who freaks me out? Is the light-skinned chick with the blue eyes. I was like, oh, bitch, that's a witch, honey. She is a witch.
We're gonna come back to her. Now we also know that in the murder night that what's his face got killed. The guy Autumn's ex-husband got killed.
But we didn't know who killed him.
We don't know who killed him because we just
I think we do now.
We know that there was Autumn, Mercedes, and Diamond in the room.
No. Diamond was in the room fighting White Boy.
I'm sorry. Autumn, Mercedes, and
Uncle Clifford.
Uncle Clifford.
Yes, there was 4 people in the room. I think Mercedes basically said it was her. That was how her shoulder got fucked up.
Her shoulder got fucked up when she fell.
Right.
But the first time when you talk about the 7 pounds of pressure, remember that was
so I remember, but
remember right before this episode we just saw, Autumn and Mercedes got in a fight on the stage, and she was like, all the shit that I've done for you, 7 pounds of pressure, I basically said I shot a motherfucker for you.
Maybe I must have missed that part.
Oh, she did. You know what? She did say that.
Yeah, maybe I must.
I think you're right.
Right, Louboutin said yes. Mercedes is 7 pounds of pressure to pull the trigger because that was what Diamond says. Also, we got to see Diamond's booty.
I'm sorry.
I mean, I was excited about that.
Yes. So they also introduced 2 new strippers, which I thought they were fucking crazy. I thought they were like just crazy. But the one chick, Roulette.
It's just crazy as cat shit though, but I like her.
I started like her. I was like,
love her. She crazy as cat shit, but I love her.
Yes.
I'm here for it.
And so Roulette has her own little thing going on where she's talking to the Uncle Al. Looks, first of all, Uncle Al, listen.
Yeah, Al's cute. He could. I mean, he don't really do it for me like that.
Big Al can call me at any time. Listen. 301. Just call me. just call me.
777-9311.
Right. Just listen. Just call me. But Big Al and Big Al was doing. Yeah, Big Al and the white guy they're doing their own little side business. Everybody's trying to hustle to make money during.
But they were doing that beforehand.
They were, but now it's even. I think they were showing an emphasis on how
that's her name. The light skinned girl. Her name is Whisper.
Yes.
Everybody's trying to make up something, and so. The difference, Big Al was doing, him and the white boy was doing some other Oxycontin and fitness pills and shit. Roulette now realized that she could hoe and make some money. Diamond was out of a job and was working at like the Dollar General or something. And
so I know this is out of order, but he was like, I gotta leave. I gotta go work security at this spades tournament. I was like, bitch, any spades tournament that requires security. No. Remember how in college, how crazy motherfuckers used to get? But listen, you reneged the match and adding all of that with guns.
It's that serious.
It is. Baby, a spades tournament or a bidwist tournament, baby.
That's the other one. Bidwist and Tunk. Spades, bidwist, and Tunk. Do not fuck up nothing in none of those 3 games because if you do, you'll never invite it back ever.
Don't do it.
Yeah, you would never invite it back ever. So we also know that the mayor of Chucalissa had died. We also know that I can't even think of his name, but the mayor's godson Andre went back home. He found his wife,
sucking the dick of one of
her coworkers.
One of her coworkers, another doctor.
He broke in and was pushing him out, and the guy was like, he was pushing him out the door.
Can I get my clothes?
He was like, no, you fucking my wife. I was like, oh my God.
I would have been like waiting downstairs. I was like, I'm gonna get my clothes.
Yeah,
I would just be like, we just gonna fight or something because there's no way I'm leaving this house.
Car keys or something. Listen, I don't give a fuck. I'm walking there. Give me my car keys. So I can get in my car.
Right.
That's all I need. I'll figure out the rest.
Right.
That's all.
Because listen, I will pull up in front of this house and walk my naked ass to this house.
Yeah, like
I'm not gonna call an Uber. No. First of all, how the fuck I'm gonna call an Uber? I ain't got no phone.
I ain't got no phone. So
right.
Listen, and to be truthful, I have driven home naked. That's a whole nother story. I ain't never told you about that long.
Put that in the notes for later.
So again, everybody's doing shit they got no business doing. Roulette even is now starting to hoe and then also trying to pimp because apparently Roulette's her head game is the bomb.
Yeah.
And then word got around, and then one of the other clients wanted to mess with Whisper, and so
it was the same client that he sucked off. Yeah. She sucked off,
and he wanted to mess around with Whisper, and then he tried to get real janky with Whisper and not try to pay her what she was worth, and then Roulette just let her inner Harley Quinn all the way out.
She spun that barrel and was "You ain't gonna sue me." She put it to her own head and said, "Click, click, click."
I said, "Okay." So Roulette, listen, Roulette is that girl. Now, Diamond started messing with the new girl who's the DJ, Big Bone.
Big Bone, yeah.
And Big Bone got a lot of shit. Her confidence is all the way up here.
Yes.
But let me tell you, whatever Diamond got, he got some good dick because she went from baby, all I want to do is fuck to being jealous of any bitch that gave Diamond more than a quarter-second look.
Listen, he laid that thing when he put her up on that damn bookcase. I mean, on that counter, and he said, "We're gonna do it again." Yeah, I was like, "Oh," and he's yellow,
baby. You know, I've always you know my feelings about Diamond.
I need you to listen. I need you to look like this tablecloth. That's what I first catch my attention. But anything lighter than that, I'll work with it. It's like, okay, all right. But I need you to catch this tablecloth. I need you to be like this. I need you to be like midnight. Midnight.
I will say there were lots of penises in this season.
It was
penis heavy.
Can we talk about the fact that at one point we saw Uncle Clifford's meat?
Right.
Yes. Uncle Clifford did some bomb head on his birthday.
Right. Yeah, it was like
bless your heart, baby.
I will tell you though, first of all, I like them light skinned, so we'll start there. I want to see what I really want to see is the scene of I can't remember his name. Clifford called him half nigga.
Teak.
No, not Teak.
No.
Not Teak.
Half nigga.
The one that's related to the mayor.
Yes, one of the mayor's son. His illegitimate
son. Yeah. Well, we know that he likes to get flogged.
Right.
And baby, his dick was hard as a rock when he took his clothes off. And I would love to see him get banged out.
But what was so funny for me was when Clifford was like, I was like, bitch, you're doing it wrong.
Right. I was like, let me.
I was like,
so you, and then because I would, finger the butthole, and then I'd have been like,
and he already had the mark. I was like,
that's out of all of the dicks and all of the scenes that we saw, that turned me on the most because I'm a nasty fuck.
That was good. I appreciate that one. That was real good.
So can I start with my random musings? Sure. So I just took down some phrases that really got me. And Legionnaire, please feel free to jump in. Clifford said, "I'm too much of a cat to get fucked by a kitten."
By a kitten, yes.
I like that one.
That was a good read.
Mercedes, I love the storyline with Mercedes, Coach, and Coach's wife.
Yes,
baby.
Can we talk about these pictures?
The way those pictures of Mercedes were fucking amazing.
So Mercedes is a beautiful woman. Her whole body is amazing. But I don't think that all these pictures were her. But the one picture that they kept showing, they were standing in front of where she was leaned back on the pole.
Especially, can we talk about the dildos? Mesmerizing. We know it was dildo special, but don't ruin our fantasy.
I know, right?
The actual penises.
That's what we go. That's our story. We sticking to it, special.
Exactly. We hang on to
that whole storyline with the three of them that sex scene with the three of them Coach was like superfluous, and he pulled up. He was like,
he started looking. I'm like, what is this?
I know what two women to sleeping fucking looking like. I know Diamond got a little bougie said, but Diamond ain't damaged Dominion. I was like,
he kind of is.
Something ain't right. Something ain't totally right up there.
He kind of damaged. Yeah, because M.I. crooked letter, she done put it on him, and he can't really let go.
Right.
He can't shake that stink off of him.
But the fact that, listen, let me tell you how I know he's damaged, bougie girl. I like him.
See?
I am the damage detector.
And that's it right there.
It's there like Dominion likes him, he's damaged.
Something ain't right with him.
Like, listen, he's been damaged.
Right.
Although it's not fully working because Teak didn't do nothing for me. I kept looking at Teak and I kept being like, I wanna. He's you know, he really does look like the first person I ever had sex with. He really does look like him. I'll show you a picture of him. But and maybe I've just moved on from that in my life. But all I could think of though during that sex scene, it was like, I know he ain't cleaned out.
Oh,
that's all I could think. That's all I could think. It's like, I know, because it was too spontaneous, and I was like, that girl ain't cleaned out.
Oh my God! See, this is why we're friends, because I thought the same thing. I said,
and listen, but you know, some of the kids will always say, but I stay ready. It's like,
no,
okay,
girl, he pushes straight. He don't stay ready.
Like, okay, you stay ready. Okay, so every day you get ready. Listen.
I love when Lil Murder said, "Where my strawberries at?" And Wody said, "You're allergic." Well, where my strawberries and Benadryl at, nigga? The Hazel London cameo was cute. Well, if you can't go to the paint, where the hell can you go?
It was.
She has aged.
Like, well,
listen, in hood years, she
right.
What's up, Spiller Boy?
When Jocelyn is Jocelyn a stripper in real life?
Jocelyn
I don't know anything about her.
Jocelyn was a former stripper. She had, that's where she started. Like, she was doing it. She's very vocal about it. But it came through with these like acting chops, like,
I didn't require a whole lot of acting. But she was Jennifer Hudson. She was Jennifer Hudsoning that role.
She was
just playing herself.
I'm trying to put a bitch up on game. I'm just, with a bitch like you. I was like, come on, Jocelyn, you trying to get this whole thing.
And then Mississippi says something. He's like, it's a metaphor.
It was a lot. But Jocelyn showed up. That was cute. Megan.
Baby, because I forgot that her, like, just like Beyonce and Sasha Fierce, I forgot her stage persona is Tina Snow. And if I had realized that, I would have been like, oh, at some point we're going to see Megan Thee Stallion.
And her music was in the show.
Yes.
And listen,
and baby, she looks
Megan's
sick.
body.
She looked amazing.
I said, I love the quote that Coach's wife said. No, it wasn't Coach's wife. It was Mississippi's stepmother who said to her, be careful becoming a man's Barbie doll. He'll always find another one to buy.
That was her whole backstory was sad. It was
very sad.
Yeah, that whole episode that we got her backstory was like, wow.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Although I will say to you, I'm not I'm an equal opportunity hoe. I can't remember the white guy's name.
Take notes.
Yep. That blonde haired, blue eyed boy that she ended up marrying, he look a mess now.
Right.
He look a mess. But back then in high school, I'd have fucked him. He was cute.
He was,
and the way he whooped them boys' ass.
When he jumped on them, I said, "Damn."
Right.
Like,
but also, I'd have been like, "Oh, this nigga a little crazy," because he was his reaction was way out of proportion.
It was a lot. It was a lot.
It would have just let me know that I would have been like, "Thank you."
But
you also see how she fell for him because she wasn't getting that validation at home. She got the whole evil stepsister shit going on, and then you got this guy that just stepped up, was like, okay, he barely knows me, but he about to kill a motherfucker for me because he thinks I'm Ned Fears. So
right.
Yeah. And she is, and she was, and she is.
Yeah.
But the sad part is she didn't know it.
Yeah.
Right.
But on the flip side, the sad part of that relationship, the lowest part for me was when she found out that the baby's arm was broken, and she got into a fight with him, and he picked up the iron, and she was just like, anywhere but my face.
And I'm like, girl, you are bargaining down.
That's what we're doing. And listen, you can't do nothing about that. If you in that position, you can't. Whatever you say is gonna happen. But baby, listen. Whether I was burnt up by the iron or not, when that motherfucker lay down to go to sleep,
oh baby, it would have been like. First of all, I would have punched him dead in the face it to knock him out.
Wrapped that cord of that iron around my hand. I'd have swung that bitch around like I was Wonder Woman and got that magic lasso, and I'd have came right down on his head. Bah!
Right.
Bah!
but and you know, it's one of those things. I have
Derek, thank you,
all
Bougie.
Derek,
Derek.
I have always been like, because they tried to save her ass, and
They
then
did.
she pulled a gun on him. So
Yeah.
I would have been like, girl, don't come to me for nothing.
Well, and that's what
because
that's,
when you try to, I've said that to a couple of people, like, you know, when they're going through situations, like, girl, I will save you. I will do my best to save you. But if I try to save you and you go back to that motherfucker, don't call me a second time.
Mm.
Oh yes, exactly. Yeah, girl. No, I don't save. I don't try to. I play. I will. I'm not even trying to play Captain Save-A-Ho. I'm trying to be a good friend.
right,
Because Captain Save-A-Ho does it unbidden.
right.
I will respond to your request to be saved, but then once I do that, and then you turn around and go back to that motherfucker, don't come to me.
Louis, Legionnaire. I'll share.
We'll talk.
We'll talk. Yeah,
We'll talk.
Mm-hmm.
So we saw Diamond's ass. As they love to show erections on this show. I approve. And
Mm.
then I was like, so they just gonna leave Teek's body down to the lake? I mean, apparently they made arrangement with Wody.
Right.
I just love saying that name, Wody. Wody.
He is the one that
I think Wody is cute though.
He is kind of cute, but he's also the one that has like a dark pet. Like, listen,
He's the most dangerous one on that show.
Listen, I was looking at him and I was like, that motherfucker. Now, listen, and I ain't the TikTok, but I was like, that kind of turned me on. I was like,
I knew it would.
He took him out.
That's why I thought you would have loved Teek, because you know Teek
was a little too so.
No, I know who you like. You like Mercedes Man, the one that just got out of jail the day before.
No.
With the ankle bracelet.
No.
He's kind of sexy though.
I think I like Wody because he's a little bit crazy. But I will say, just a little bit, he got a little crazy in him. But again, Uncle Al, Big Al, listen, I'm getting older now. I feel like my knees is getting a little, my back, and we need to get the Craftmatic adjustable bed, and I'm trying with the heat warmers. I'm trying to make sure I can work with that. I think Big Al can work with a Craftmatic adjustable bed with some heat in it. I think he's cool. So that's what I'm gonna work with.
I thought Teek's story really. Say it again.
I said have at it because it's working for me.
Right. I thought Teek's story was really sad, how like his mother, basically stabbed his brother and sister to death, which sort of set him up for damage. Then he went to jail and ended up having more damage. But at first, here's what they didn't do a good job on the show, unless that was part of the language that I couldn't understand. They did not establish, at least in my mind, until after the fact, that they used to be prison booze.
They talked about that when he got out of jail.
I missed that part.
Yeah, they touched on it. I mean,
they made it sound like they were good friends.
They did.
He said, "Yeah, I wrote poetry for you and stuff," but they didn't say that they used to fuck when they was in jail.
But and Legionnaire, tell me if you caught this when they sat on that steps that first night.
Yes, exactly.
It was given very like.
That's when I thought.
But
okay.
see, I already knew what was coming, even though I hadn't seen the episode. So I was like, oh, so this is
that for me, because I was talking to Spielberg about that. That for me is the one where I was like, there's something going on there between the two. Like, it's more than just It was more than just a hookup. It was like there was something there. That's when I thought originally.
That's when I saw it too. I was like, okay, they more than just prison buzz that did time together. There's a whole lot more behind that. So, because it was in their body language. It was how they talked to each other. Even when he started talking about how he, because it wasn't like, oh, I wrote you some raps and stuff to keep your mind occupied. It was like, no, I wrote you poetry and shit like that. It was like just the way that he was.
Yeah, it was a little bit.
I was like,
some of it was a little subtle.
It was
very
and
subtle. Maybe I was just watching them fast, so I didn't get a chance to watch it, and I was watching them like 3 episodes at a time.
And can we speaking of other dicks, what's his face that got killed when he pulled it? I was like, now wait a minute, what's going on? Killed? When he gave him the pills, when he tried.
We got to saw other dudes' dick.
When he was getting ready to try to jump on Mercedes and he can't with his robe open.
Yeah, I didn't see his dick though. Oh yeah, we did. We sure did.
Oh
yes,
we
did.
Yep.
I thought he was cute too.
Oh,
I knew something was gonna happen to him because he was a little too slick and a little too fast, and I just knew something bad was gonna happen to him because I was like, all of these deals that he got, these wig deals, I was like, it's some underhanded and somebody gonna come wanting their money or something crazy was gonna happen. And I'm not at all surprised that he ended up dead. And I listen, as soon as Woden showed up at that party, I was like, oh, it's a wrap for you, brother.
So can we also talk about Lil Murder and Uncle
Wait
Clifford?
a minute, Eccentric, you don't think he's dead? Wody,
he done shot himself in what?
Not Wody, the promoter?
The promoter. Oh, he did.
Oh, Rome is dead.
But are we going to talk about Lil Murder and Uncle Clifford and how they're both their sex scenes kind of did the
reverse
unconventional? I guess.
I guess. I mean, that didn't really do much for me either way.
I mean, I thought it was.
I mean, it was nice. I like the reconciliation, but it annoys me that they're both holding on to these huge secrets. And basically, that was how we knew the body wasn't left down to the lake. Because one, Wody had the body, and two, Clifford said that was the thing I helped you clean up down by the lake. And I was like, what was there to clean up? You was in the car with somebody who committed suicide, and
well, he thought he shot him. That's what he asked me. He said,
"Oh, well, listen." And so here's my thing.
That's what Clifford thought. He thought, was this a?
I'm going to be very honest with you.
We're have this conversation.
We're friends, right?
I already know where this is going to go.
If you came to me and said I shot somebody, I would. What
you gonna do?
Right? What are you
gonna do?
First of all, no trade that. First of all, we broke up on we left on bad terms. Is not going to be able to come to my house crying, talking about or leaving me to assume that he shot somebody. Because I've been like, girl, I'm already trying to save this club and do a whole bunch of other things. I do not. I already done buried one or covered up one murder. I am not in the covering up murder business.
But the thing is, that is his weakness. That is his
exactly.
That is a person that has been pulling.
That's his lobster.
That's right. He's been pulling at his heartstring. That's his person. Right. That's his person. And so I can't even sit back and say that I wouldn't do it. Because I'd be mad than a motherfucker. I'd be like, you brought this motherfucking dirty body over this motherfucker, and I got to figure out what the
right. I mean,
exactly. And you know that was probably the behind the scenes conversation. He cussed his ass out, but he did. Hey,
he helped him.
Come on, baby, let's go ahead and get this shit fixed.
Yeah,
I guess it's the environment because first of all, if you show up at my doorstep, if some trade, I'm not talking about somebody I've dated for a long time because. If trade shows, I'm even there.
If trade shows up,
I mean, I guess Lil Murder is trade, but Clifford, that's my boo.
Murder, they're not. I mean, that's not trade. That's something that's progressed beyond that.
Yeah, that's what we're calling that, like trade plus or trade beyond or like what do we call
trade extra.
Trade extra. Yeah, like right. It's something. Yeah, it's a little bit more. I
think it was Mercedes who said people don't understand how lonely it is to shine so bright, which I thought was a beautiful statement. There's some good writing in this.
What is that?
Eccentric says, but it's the fact that Wody specifically gave him fentanyl, which is reversible if someone had Narcan. That's true.
Yeah. But he also snorted.
He snorted that
a
shit.
Whole lineup, but
I mean, yes. So yes, could he theorize? And if that motherfucker is still alive, then that's season 3 or this season finale is gonna be some shit.
It's gonna be a little rough,
right?
Because whether he died or not, there is somebody beyond Rome who has this video of Lil Murder either fucking or getting fucked by some dude when he was 15. And that is going to be a bomb that's going to blow up.
That's what I didn't understand. That's what I didn't understand. Did he have video footage of Lil Murder and what's his name? Teak?
I don't know. I don't know who he was in that video with, but no, it wasn't Teak because a little later, Lil Murda said he was explaining what that video was. He was like, I was 15, I needed to put food on the table or
Maybe
whatever.
I must have
So
missed that
it
part.
was either him getting fucked or fucked by somebody. So somebody had to give that video to Rome.
Can we also talk about Lil Murda talking about that? Did he say he said nothing to me? Is that what he said?
I know he said I want because Uncle Clifford, who goes by she, her pronouns, which I was referring to him as him, but sure, that's fine by me. But Uncle Clifford went to go grab the condom, and it was a Magnum too. So okay.
Well, we saw Uncle Clifford at
right with the meats. He's got the meats. We're gonna get to Patrice Woodbine in a second. But he went to go put on the condom, and Lil Murda was like, I want to feel you inside of me. I was like, okay.
I said, oh,
yes.
Okay.
I got to that. I'm getting to that one where I think it was Mercedes.
I thought that was Patrice that said that.
I hold so you could fly. No, that was not. That wasn't Patrice that said that. I feel like that was Mercedes talking to
Mississippi.
No. That was Mercedes talking to her daughter because we skipped over the whole
yeah.
thing about Mercedes and her daughter coming up pregnant, and Shell, the adoptive mother.
So Slowboy said he set up a camera in the room. I thought Rome paid for their rooms. They were in his name, and he would give them the keys. So maybe he did do that. Maybe.
But I thought that later in the episode, this was after Rome was dead, after Cheek was dead, he was explaining to Wody what that video was, and he said, I was 15, I needed to put food on the table.
I need to go back and
look
at that.
Yeah.
Either way.
Yeah.
And then Miss motherfucking Patrice came out there with the stripper pole and everything. I was like, baby, this, if I came to this town and I'd be like, okay, there's 3 mayoral candidates.
And one of them is on the pole.
One of them is on the pole, and the other one had their fucking fundraiser featuring strippers. I mean, I just might have to vote for the white guy because I just don't know that I would want to live in a town where either of these are possibilities.
Listen, I need to know I need to know who's on this pole, who's flying, and who looks the best. Because if you pull me in that way, you'll get my vote.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
So who do we think is going to win the? I like that. When
Autumn may be pregnant. Autumn is pregnant.
But it was like it had only been like 6 days between this shit. But I don't know how long it was between when Andre came back to town and when the election was. So we're assuming that it's at least like 2 months or whatever. But whatever. So I love that Uncle Clifford called Andre a great value Obama. Fits.
Oh my God.
Okay. And then he called what is that half black man's name?
I don't know his name.
But he called him half nigga. He's listen here, half nigga. That was funny to me. So who do we think is going to win the election? We know the mayor ain't gonna win. So is it going to be Patrice or is it going to be great value Obama?
That's kind of hard
to say. I mean, I think if I was pressed, I would have to say Andre. If I were pressed, I would guess Andre.
Okay.
Because Patrice, I just can't see it.
I can't see it in my life, but remember where we are.
Yeah.
In the world.
It could be
and
Patrice.
You know, I hate to say it about some of our cousins, but you know, they'll fall for that, you know, God save you, okie doke.
But I feel like there's also room for another twist. Like one candidate winning,
like it's a tie,
and then there's some they find out there's some shenanigans that went on with the vote, and then they're like, well, that person or he or she, whatever, did not actually win. It's somebody else. So I feel like there's gonna be some shenanigans with that. But I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
There could be a twist.
I feel like it's going to be at the end of the day, it's going to be Patrice.
I don't know.
And then so that sets up this whole thing next season with her trying to get the club because Andre is trying to get the club shut down so he can build the casino. Patrice is trying to get the club shut down, but she don't want to build a casino.
Right.
So I think that she's, you know, the winner.
But then you have Autumn who is trying to sell the casino.
I love that white woman, that
She
older
was so
white
funny.
woman.
She
She
was
was
so
so
funny.
interacting with.
But White Autumn was trying to sell the casino, and it doesn't make a difference what she doesn't care who's the mayor at this particular point.
Right.
Even though she likes Andre, she wants to, she's doing whatever with Andre,
Mhm.
but she just wants her money.
Right.
She just wants the money. So I don't know. Have we gotten a green light on season 3?
I don't know.
Yet. I haven't heard anything yet either. But I do know I like what they're doing with this second season, because P-Valley was actually only a play and it didn't have another season. So I like the direction that they're going with this, and they're doing it. And I was afraid to watch the second season because of that. But I like where they're going with this. It's pretty good.
Yes.
It's pretty good.
Any other thoughts, Legionnaire?
No, I agree with Epic. I'm all in, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed for a third season, because it'll definitely be it's definitely gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
Yes.
This follow up from the mayoral race is gonna be a trip. No matter who wins, this follow up.
It's not gonna be cut and dried either way.
Right.
We know whoever's gonna win is gonna be some shit.
And I feel like it's also a move it's a setup for somebody to do something in cahoots. Like either the white boy and the rich white woman get together and do some sort of
white boy meaning
the
current interim mayor.
Yes, him and the other
older white
woman get together and they scheme on something against Autumn or something, or if Andre's the mayor, then they scheme against it. Something they're not.
But that white woman has no investment in the white man.
But again,
because remember, the whole thing that she's in there, they tried to cut her out of it, like that old guy that she kept referring to as Bill. They kept trying to cut her out, even though it's her money that's actually making it. She is great. She is, Promise Valley or whatever the name of the thing is. Everyone was trying to work around her, so I think that she wouldn't want to work with that white guy. She'd much rather work with Andre and or Autumn than that white guy.
I feel like she'd want to work with the white guy because the white guy is trying to get it at the cheapest price, and she's not trying to give up a whole lot of money. Autumn wants a 10 million. She's like, I'm gonna give you 5. And if she works with the white guy, I cannot think of his name.
Yeah, he's immaterial.
Then he can probably try to.
Corbin is the
okay. If Corbin
guy.
Corbin is the mixed guy.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's the other guy. It's his brother.
His brother.
If Corbin's brother gets it, then he can try to force them into selling it for even cheaper, and that way she wouldn't have to spend as much money, and she'll still make money at the end.
True,
because she owns the land. That's why I feel like there's some. It's some room for something. Now, I don't know how they're going to do it. We'll see. But I'm looking forward to next week or to the end.
It comes out on Sunday, so we'll be ready to talk about it next week.
No, it comes out on the Star Trek one. I think on Friday. I think it is.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, either way, we'll be ready to talk about it on next week.
Yes. But anyway. So what about because this is where
the Orville.
What about the Orville? Because
I know me and Legionnaire love that show, and I think Bougie Girl was also into that. I like the first 2 seasons of the Orville, but it really was, there were lots of silly jokes with it in it, and I thought it was fine. I was like, if you can get past the foolishness like in Lower Decks, then
very you got a lot of Family Guy type humor and jokes and stuff mixed in with the sci-fi, which was funny because it's a Seth MacFarlane staple, but I liked how they moved away from that in New
Totally. This season 3 is a completely different show, and I fucking loved it. Every episode was amazing, and they touched on some really good things. Obviously the one that stands out, I don't want to call it the trans episode, but it was the episode where Tova said Topa, right? She's like, I don't feel right in this body. And, she had the gender affirming surgery, and then her own society, they tortured that girl.
Yeah.
And were going to kill her. And, Bortis was like, I will fuck you up.
Baby, when Bortis snatched that, when he snatched him up, I was like, oh, yes.
And then The scene with Dolly Parton was really good too.
Dolly was in the Orville.
Dolly Parton. So so Dolly Parton, remember this is 500 years in the future.
Right.
So what we consider songs now, they're just looking at it as poetry. And Dolly writes some really good songs. Yeah. So the captain of the Orville introduces this, we will consider them an alien, this Moclan female. Moclus is a society of all men. And if you are born female, they force you to have a gender reassignment surgery. And Tova is a girl, is a Moclan who was born, Topa, I keep saying Tova. I knew of someone named Tova. Topa was a Moclan who was born female, and and as an infant, they actually had a trial. So it was like a precedent setting with their like Supreme Court where they forced this infant to undergo surgery. But during that trial, one of these female Moclans who's been like in hiding and is like the leader of the resistance had been introduced to Dolly Parton.
Avena.
But then later they were having this undercover program to take female Moclans off planet, which was against some what do you call it? Treaty that the Moclans had with the rest of the Federation. And they used this hologram of Dolly to convince her that she was doing the wrong thing. So it was very good. And then we talked about, the responsibilities of mother and child with the ones where Ed and what is that species called?
The
one where Avis is a supreme god.
Yeah, I forgot
them. Yes. Yeah, it's a lot more.
I'm sitting here like,
and I will tell you that battle that they had over in episode 8 was like one of the best space battles I had seen. And I really, and this is a spoiler alert, but the season finale, I mean, I loved the way they did it because they didn't leave it on a cliffhanger because they wrote it as if you don't know if we're having a season 4. So it's like they tied up all of the loose ends. I like that Claire and what's the robot's name?
Isaac
got married. So Claire is the doctor. As she got married, she fell in love and is now married to a robot. Just like Data, Data had sexual. He is fully functional.
Fully functional.
You were also talking to someone that didn't really watch Star Trek either. I remember it as a kid.
You should just not talk about that, for the sake of our friendship.
And even as with all the movie reboots and the series reboots and the offshoots of it, I wasn't really that much into it. I mean, I thought they were good for what they were, but I'm not I will never say that I'm a Trekkie. That's something you can never say about me.
What are some other standouts for you, Legionnaire?
Well, for me, the whole show the thing that has always been a standout for me is Borders' story throughout the entire run of the show has been something that has always been first and foremost, even with all the other stuff going on, just the whole, conflict he had with Clyden, about whether or not they were going to reassign, they were going to have the surgery, then they had the trial, then they went ahead and did it, and then they split up briefly. And then there were even funny moments with them when they had the reaffirming of their marriage.
That was hilarious.
That was hilarious. When he had to chase them down.
And then Borders as the Elvis impersonator was fucking hilarious.
And then when Borders had the porn addiction for a while.
Yes.
But yeah, it was just their story that just kept me gripped around everything else that was going on. And then stuff with Isaac and Claire was cute and interesting too, seeing how Isaac still had to, navigate being, a member of the crew, even after the events of season 2 with the war with the Kylons and everything. So, and it's funny, because I knew that ensign that was introduced in season 3.
Yeah, I knew she wasn't going to last. When she showed up, I was like, oh, she's not going to last long.
Right.
But she ended up being, I hated, she was really working my nerves at the very beginning. But, her sacrifice at the end was good.
Yeah, she was giving way too much hate in the beginning.
Speaking of Isaac, that scene. So I'm explaining. This is like explaining it to someone. It's like explaining a soap opera to someone who doesn't watch soap opera. So
Right.
that is Nikki Newman. She used to be a stripper, and then Victor met her when he was on a business trip. They fell in love, and then they moved back to Genoa City.
I appreciate the comparison because that was my show. That and All My Children. I'm just saying that was my
right.
show. I'm just saying.
And Isaac is a part of a robot species called the Kalon. They killed the humans that created them because, as we found out later in the episode, they gave them the ability to feel pain specifically so that they could do shit to them.
Right.
Not pleasure. They didn't give them the full range of emotion. Okay. They gave them the ability to feel pain so that they could like press a button and have them be in excruciating pain. Right. But they're robots who were, at least they weren't sentient at first, but they gained sentience over the years. And so they killed all of them. So now they have this thing against all biologicals. So they went to war with all biologicals. Isaac was a plant. He had been sent to live among the biologicals, basically to collect information, but he actually grew to like the biologicals. So now we're all back. And so now he's back with the crew for reasons. We won't get into all of that. But the crew hated him, and a lot of the crew didn't. They weren't shy about that, and so Isaac makes the decision, a logical decision, that the crew's efficiency would be improved if he was no longer around. So he deactivated himself in such a way that it was a suicide. He killed himself, essentially, but. Lola's like, I'm so confused.
Listen, Lola, this is not my lane. I'm trying to broaden my horizons, and I'm just listening.
But he killed himself. He literally killed himself.
Right.
But he's a machine, so bringing a machine back is a little easier than someone who puts a bullet to their temple.
Okay.
So they were able to bring him back, and so now, remember, he eventually married the doctor, but now she's also the ship's counselor as well. So she's like, what you don't understand, and what most people who try to take their own lives don't understand, is that you made a prediction about how things would be in the future based on how things were in the past, and you could not see a path forward from that, which is what a lot of people who kill themselves say. And she said, you don't know, people's feelings towards you might change. There are people who are still here, despite those people that hate you, that still love you, that still want you here. And I honestly think that if I know someone who's going to kill themselves, if I could convince them to watch that episode, or at least that piece of the episode, to get them to see that, Isaac's thing was that these problems are weighing on him so much so that he thinks the best solution is to not be here. But that's never the solution. So there's all of the episodes had layers to it, which I really appreciated as a nerd.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a staple of the show to have those layered things that were going on, and even and because another standout episode was the one where Gordon gets trapped in time.
Yes,
trapped back in time, and they're thinking that they can go back and get him in 3 years, and it's actually been 10 years. And he's like gotten married to this girl that he fell in love with, way back when, and he's trying to create a life. And then it's like, no, you can't stay. I mean, that was a really good episode too, where they had to basically drag him back to the future, because it's like, okay, baby, you can't stay here. This is
right. So basically, they're in the 25th century through things.
Right.
He gets thrown back in time to the 21st century. To like right now.
Okay.
He uses his technology to send a message to the future, like, I am here, please come get me. They go back, but for reasons. They don't get there till 10 years later. And so now he's married, he's got a kid and one on the way. But just imagine someone with 25th century knowledge could do because you're not supposed to be in that time. And like even his wife is like, when he finally tells her the truth, because they show up to get him, and he's like, yeah, I'm not going back. And his wife, when he tells his wife the truth, she's like, that's why, because they're like in 2025 or whatever.
Yeah,
he's like, that's why you were so calm during the pandemic, because they know that because you knew we was gonna get through this, because you said we're gonna be fine. We just need to lay low, do X, Y, and Z, you know, girl, wash your hands, do all of that, you know, because he had the knowledge of the future. And, you know, but it's against their policy to contaminate the past like that. So what they ended up doing was going.
He left a kid. He contaminated the past.
Yeah, but exactly. There's a whole two humans that aren't supposed to be there. So, but what they ended up doing was going back. So they arrived in 2035, let's say. They were supposed to be back at 20. No. They were supposed to be back in 2015. And so they arrived in like 2031. So they got there in 2031. So they made the short hop back to 2021 to get him. And it had only been like 3 days since he had gotten there. So they closed that time loop. So that is a future history that never happened. So yeah, so that was a standout episode too.
Okay.
And Lola's like, I'm still confused.
Listen, Lola, I am listening. I'm broadening my horizons. That's what I'm doing. That's all I'm doing.
Anything else on that, Legionnaire?
No, it's like I said, I just enjoyed the show. I think this season, even though I kind of like the humor of the first two seasons, I love what they did with this season, because it did a complete. I mean, they threw little funny things here and there, but the complete turn that they did with this season, New Horizons, was excellent. There wasn't a bad episode in the season.
Yeah. Are you going to be talking about what's coming up next? She-Hulk on your show?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm going to be talking about She-Hulk. I'm looking forward to that. There's some things that they're doing in that show that I think are going to be fun. I know a lot of the fan base has some issues around, like, you know, the CGI that they're going to use to make
the CGI look janky in the commercials that they did a couple of months ago.
Trailer, yeah.
But in the recent CGI, it looks like they cleaned it up. It's like they were just giving you the rough cut, because it was looking real jankified.
It does, but it's interesting, and I definitely want to watch it myself. Yeah.
And something else that's going to be fun to see how they play out is that when in the second run of her comic book series, she had an initial run, then she did a second run, second volume that was written and drawn by a very famous artist, John Byrne, where she frequently broke the fourth wall and would speak to the audience. And it looks like they're going to incorporate that into the show. And I mean, if they do it the way he did it, anywhere close to the way he did it in the comics, is going to be hilarious. So I am definitely.
Good. So we're gonna be having some Ally McBeal moments or whatever. Is that what I'm? Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'm here for it.
Excellent. So we got just a couple of news stories to get to. So Olivia Newton-John died yesterday, actually. She's 73. She soared to international fame as both a singer and movie star. Her husband, John Easterling, said she died peacefully at her ranch in Southern California on Monday night, surrounded by family and friends. She'd been battling breast cancer for more than 30 years, but a specific cause of death was not given. She hit it big in 1971 with songs like If Not For You, and in 1973 with Let Me Be There. She followed that up with a monster hit, Have You Never Been Mellow? But her huge break came in 1978 when she starred opposite John Travolta in Grease. Her role as Sandy was iconic, as were several songs from the movie, such as You're the One That I Want, woo, woo, woo. Summer Nights, and Hopelessly Devoted to You. Yes.
Yeah, listen.
And then she followed that up with Xanadu. And then, but her biggest song was Let's Get Physical, Physical, Love to Get Physical. Let's get into physical. Let me hear your body talk. Your body talk.
Let me hear your body talk.
Baby, that came in 1981, so we were 10 years old. Baby, that song was everything. And all the kids had the women anyway, and a few of the men. The leg warmers and said a few
leg warmers and bright colors and
bright color unit.
Bodysuit and the big thick belt.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So rest in peace. She seemed like a lovely woman.
Yeah, she did.
And she really fought courageously to the end. And so bless her spirit.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
In some other news, Serena Williams announced that she's going to retire from tennis. Serena Williams, one of the greatest athletes of all time and a 23-time Grand Slam singles champion, announced she's retiring from professional tennis, indicating she could step away after the upcoming U.S. Open. In a column for Vogue, the 40-year-old Williams described her intention to finish her playing career as an evolution away from tennis. I've never liked the word retirement, she wrote. Maybe the best word to describe what I'm up to is evolution. I'm here to tell you that I'm evolving away from tennis toward other things that are important to me. So she says that she has spent much of the past few years off the court preparing for the moment she decided to move on, including by setting up a venture capital company, Serena Ventures, and investing in various organizations. However, she explained that one of her biggest reasons for retirement is her intention to further expand her family.
And she needs to be careful because she almost died giving birth to her
almost
daughter.
Died.
Yeah, that was the first thing I thought.
Yeah, so, but we'll
and
see. And
she is 40, so
yes,
that risk does go up as you get older.
It does, and listen, we already know several people, including my girl Janet, waited until they was in their 50s to have a damn baby. Mm-hmm. But this is where we are. So I wish her luck with that. But here's the thing. Go ahead. Go ahead, Legionnaire.
No, I was going to say absolutely. Wishing her the best of luck. With all that.
Yeah. She's won an open era record of 23 Grand Slam single titles. She's earned a total of $94,588,910 in prize money and much more in endorsements. Even though she fell short of the all-time record of 24, a record of less importance set by Margaret Court. Listen, she's still the great. She's still the GOAT.
So. Two things. She said, I never wanted to have to choose between tennis and family. I don't think it's fair. If I were a guy, I wouldn't be writing this because I'd be out there playing and winning while my wife was doing the physical labor of expanding our family. So, there's still that. And, I mean, listen, $94 million is nothing to sneeze at in prize money.
Wait a minute, Bougie. Had to go beat down the Uber Eats hoe. What's going on? What happened? Fill us in. What is that? Yeah, I'm looking at the comments. What are we doing?
Apparently they were late with her food or something.
They was late with your food? Like,
we'll have to let her wait to say it.
Yeah, say something because listen, we
will
travel. Go ahead.
But I was just going to say that she did make a lot of money in endorsements, but there's been articles written about how she hasn't made as much in endorsements as others. Now, let's be clear. This is an uber rich conversation.
Yes.
It's saying, oh, I only made $150 million in endorsement, whereas John McEnroe made $300 million. Right. So we're not exactly crying for you.
Right.
But still, it's still like the parity of women in sports. What a lot of people have said that based on her athleticism, Serena Williams is one of the best athletes, male or female, of all time.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, they've touched, and in particular, a lot of these women that are actually that are leading the sports events that they're in are physically a lot better than some of their male counterparts. Anyway, let's take for instance even Brittany Griner. Like they talked about Brittany Griner as being the absolute best basketball player.
Yeah.
So I hope that as time goes on, we get a little bit better with this pay inequity between men and women. So yeah, we shall see. But $94 million is nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah. The bitch messed up the order. Oh, so go beat that. Whoop a trick.
Yeah.
Whoop that trick. 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 There we go. All right. So for our last story. Shit, I can't have nothing else to eat. I'm fat. I got to fast for 12 hours before this doctor's appointment tomorrow. So
Can't even eat what now?
I've already eaten, so I'm good.
Oh, okay.
But I was
What was that anyway? Apples?
masala,
Oh, okay.
chicken masala from Aldi's.
Gotcha. Okay.
FBI executes search warrant at Trump's Mar-a-Lago in document investigation. So they executed a search warrant on Monday at Trump's resort in Florida as part of an investigation into the handling of presidential documents, including classified documents that may have been brought there. The former president confirmed the FBI agents were at Mar-a-Lago and said they even broke into my safe. Honey, that's what they do.
Listen.
When they think you committed a crime. My beautiful home, Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach, Florida, is currently under siege, raided, and occupied by a large group of FBI agents. So I'm not going to go into all of that, but let's just be clear on a couple of things. The head of the FBI who had to sign off, because this ain't a run-of-the-mill FBI warrant.
Right.
This has never happened in the entirety of the history of this country that the FBI has raided the home of an ex-president, and especially given all that has gone on. The FBI director was appointed by Trump. So let's start there. The bar. So here's the bar for normally getting a warrant. Here is the bar for getting a warrant for a former president of the United States.
Yes.
They not only did the FBI director sign off on that, but then they convinced a judge that there was probable cause to execute this warrant. So this isn't like, oh, this motherfucker took some notes. This motherfucker probably like took the nuclear codes or some shit.
Yeah, and there was, again, even in the article, they said there was communication between the FBI and the Secret Service before the search warrant was executed Monday. So again, there was a lot of moving parts in this.
Oh, the FBI is already on shaky ground because they deleted all of the text messages, so they was trying to get back into good graces because, they're already in trouble for that because you can't delete texts like that. So,
Listen. Now, one of the things, one quote made by the Democratic rep Carolyn Maloney of New York said, although details of today's actions, meaning Monday, at Mar-a-Lago, are still emerging, it's clear that the Department of Justice must fully investigate President Trump's potentially grave mishandling of classified information, because they also, to be specifically clear, they took out at least 15 boxes of documents. Like, really? And I for me, here's where I am. If you're going to take this documentation out of here, why would you keep this in your house?
Because two reasons. One, they're dumb.
That's
the basic reason. They're dumb. And two, they don't think the law applies to them. They think that the law applies to their enemies or lesser people. They think, oh, I was the president. These are my documents. Like, no, girl, he does. And I'm not saying any other president is better, because I just saw something that talked about, how Obama wasn't that good a president. And I was like, yeah, he probably wasn't. But Trump, unlike other presidents, didn't even pretend like he was a servant of the people. So he didn't think that, oh, well, no, of course I can take these papers because I was the president. So we'll see how that pans out. Yeah.
Anyway, what was I going to say? I was going to say something. I forgot what I was going to say.
I don't know.
Listen, get into this beautiful bean footage, and we will be right back.
After these messages, we'll be
right back.
hello. Thank you all for joining. This has been a wonderful afternoon. We've
Yes, it has been.
had a fun evening.
Yeah, it's been good. I mean, even though we had torrential downpours out in
We
the PG
did.
counties, and trying to drive in that shit was like ridiculous. But you know, it was still a good day. It was a good day.
And you
good
didn't even have to
afternoon.
use your AK.
I did not. And today is the 30th anniversary of
The AK-47.
No, it's the 30th anniversary of that album, Fuck the Police.
Oh, it is?
I believe it's my cousin and I were talking about today. This, you know,
92 sounds about right.
It was everything.
Public Enemy.
30 it's the 34th anniversary of Straight Outta Compton.
Okay. Yeah.
34th anniversary.
Okay.
I said, wow. I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
34 years.
Jesus Christ.
Right.
Oh,
It feels like yesterday.
But kind of like, even for me, I'm going back to a place I worked at over 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm not going back to 20 years ago. That would be 1990, 2002. Yeah, no.
Oh my God.
I'm not going back there.
But, you know, it's cool. Yeah, 2000, I was working. Actually, I would go back to that place where I was in 2002 if they offered a telework situation. I didn't have to live in the city because I would have been teleworking for Duquesne.
Yeah, no.
I would.
Yeah.
Well, all right, kids. Any last words, Legionnaire?
Yes, I want to say I had a wonderful time with you guys tonight. Looking forward to the next time that we do this again. I want to send a shout out to Wayne if you're out there still watching. Daddy acknowledges you.
Oh,
and yeah.
You didn't know about that?
I did not. I'm not in the loop.
Where have you been?
I don't know.
That's been going on since MAL. What was that?
Listen,
Was that 2019 or 2018?
Didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, that's been.
I am happy. I am excited.
Yeah,
I'm
girl,
like,
this has been going on for a while.
Listen, I've been out of the loop. I didn't know, but I'm happy. This is good. This is good. This is good on both parts. This is good.
Any last words for you?
The
greatest love of all is happening to me.
Black cock, cock, and cock. See y'all. That's all I got to say about that. That's it. That's all I got. That's all I got.
I will just end it by saying thank you all for coming out.
Yes.
God bless you and good night.
Y'all don't even understand this harmony. Y'all don't even understand this harmony.
Come on.
Do y'all understand? Listen to the words that are coming, that the sounds are coming out of my mouth. Get into this harmony.